we're going to be doing a full body mobility workout, helping to kind of open up tight bodies, sore bodies, so just a nice little kind of stretch and release, working a lot of breath work here as well to kind of ease tight muscles and soreness. We'll get started in a comfortable seated position, cross-legged seats will work, and we'll start by lifting the arms all the way up and overhead. Find length from your fingertips to your hips, try to pull the ribs in. We'll bend our elbows nice and wide, so they're at our sides, and then we'll pull the elbows back as we open our heart forward, breathe in, and then exhale, round through your spine, close your chest, close your arms. Inhale, we roll the shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades behind you, open your chest, find a little arch in your back, exhale, round through your spine, keep it in. Working openness through our shoulders here, through our chest, a little bit into our mid and upper back. Some spinal mobility as we find that folding in, that extension. Work two more. Big breaths in as we open. Exhale, round and close. Next, when we hold the shoulders stacked over hips, just take your right hand down by your side and reach your left arm up and overhead side stretch. If that overhead extension isn't much, you can always keep it behind your head. Over to the other side, right hand behind your head or overhead as left hand comes to the floor, keeping the shoulders up our ears. And from here, we'll keep our left hand on the mat. Just lift your right arm high towards the ceiling. Bend the elbow, grab for your left ear, and gently let that right ear fall towards right shoulder. This provides a pretty deep stretch through your neck, so if you need a little less, bring that left hand closer towards your lap. If you want more, walk your left hand away from your left hip. Being mindful you're not pushing on the ear to pull the neck open, you're just kind of allowing it to melt down. Slowly switch sides. So we stack, right hand comes down, left arm bends overhead and gently caresses that left ear towards that shoulder. Work those deep cycles of breath here, breathing energetically into the space that we're trying to open will help to kind of create a little bit more blood flow to the area, relieve some tension. One more breath. And slowly unwind. We'll take our hands down on the mat or forward into a tabletop. So our shoulders will be stacked right over our wrists, hips over knees. We'll start by pressing deeply into the palms, fingertips spread wide, so your pointer and thumb should make an L and G shape towards whatever's in front of you. Our little shoulder protraction and retraction. We'll gently allow those shoulders to slide in and together with the belly kind of pull a little closer towards the mat. Then puff up your upper back, widen the space across your upper back. Slowly let those shoulders slide in and together, not collapsing, just controlled as we protract them up toward the ceiling, and then retract your shoulders in and together. A lot of times in our table, we lose energy into the upper back, which then causes those shoulders and sides of your neck to hold. So sometimes reminding of ourselves of that energy upwards that we want to create, pushing your chest up and away from the mat. That's the energy that we want to hold. So we'll hold there with that upper back nice and wide, spread across your upper back, pull the shoulders out of your ears. We'll start by opening your right knee to the right, circle it back and down, drawing little hip circles around in one direction. Can you pull that right heel close towards the glute to try to hold it in, so we're energetic in the hamstring, and do your best not to push your torso to the left as your right knee opens. Maintain stability in your core by drawing up and in your navel, and we'll reverse our direction. Lift that leg up, open to the side and down. Drawing those hip circles at your degree, whatever is available in your hip. Continuing with those even cycles of breath. 3 more. Here's 2. And 1. We'll extend the leg back behind us, plant your toes to the mat, and try to push through your hands, try to rock some weight into the heel, And we'll slide this foot forward, step it between your hands for a little 90-90 lunge. So as we stack our shoulders over our hips, over your bottom knee, this front knee should be right over your ankle, creating 90-degree angles. We'll interlace the hands behind your head. On our inhale, we'll open our heart, maybe push the hips a little bit forward. Exhale, we'll close our elbows as we stack shoulders over hips. Inhale, open your arms, open your chest. Forward, feel a stretch in the hip flexor. Slowly close and restack. Engage that right glute to hold yourself steady. 2 more. Find your balance, suction by the hip joint. Last one. Then we'll hold the elbows wide, we're still stacked. Take a breath in. On your exhale, you twist to your right. And slowly face forward. Stay moving that right side. Twist to your right, rotate, and slow close. Try to hold a little bit of that twist as we rotate. Shoulders are out of our ears. Feel that drawing in and together of the ribs to rotate your chest to face that right side, keeping your legs really steady. 3 more. 2. And 1. Slowly bring your hands down towards the floor. You can always prop them up using a block or the books if you need. Begin to rock forward and back in our front legs. Find a little hip flexor stretch. Then into a hamstring stretch. Finding your pace. If you'd like to challenge a bit of your balance, maybe take the hands to your hips instead. Focus on keeping over the elongated spine. So try not to round your spine. Keep your heart pulling forward. Collarbones wide. Next one, we'll hold with our right knee bent. Take both hands on the inside of your foot. We widen that foot for a little lizard lunge. We let the hip melt open towards the right side. Hands can come flat to the floor or on top of a book to alleviate a little bit of a stretch if that's too much. We rock side to side. Option to interlace your right hand behind your head. Open up your chest, wrist to the right. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly take both hands back to the floor. Sweep your right leg back behind you. Meet in your table. We'll take a couple rounds of cow cat before we repeat on the other side. Inhale to lower the belly, open your heart. Exhale, drop up and in through your lower belly, ground your spine. Feel that movement through your spinal column. We extend, open, pulling our shoulders back towards the hips. Lead with your abdominal wall as you scoop the lower belly up and in, puff up rubber back towards the ceiling. One more time. Inhale, we open. Exhale, round. From here, we'll go back into those hip circles on our left side. So remember to puff up your upper back, open your left knee to the left, draw back behind you and down. We'll find 8 in each direction. Maybe noticing how this side feels in comparison to the other. Aiming to find as wide of circles as you can without changing the shape of your torso. So notice that waistline kind of likes to wiggle a little bit side to side, likes to create a C curve or a crunch in order to compensate. We're moving just from that hip, keeping everything else in the body really stable. After your next one, we'll reverse our circles. Knee lifts back, open, down and around. Keep the hamstring really active by pulling your heel towards the glute. We have 5 more. Shoulders stay out of your ears. You can always come down into your forearms if those wrists get a bit sensitive. Last 3, 2, and 1. Extend the leg behind you. Take the toes on the floor. Rock a little forward and back. Find openness to the back of that knee, to the front of your hip. And then when you're ready, we'll step your left foot forward between your hands. 5 through 90 bend at your knees as we stack our shoulders, our hips, and our back. Interlace the hands behind you. On our inhale, we open our elbows. We push your hips a little forward. Find openness in your chest. Restack shoulders over hips. Close your elbows. Combining a little bit of shoulder mobility here. So shoulder openers, chest openers. With your hip flexor stretch. A little bit of movement of your spine. With a little bit of extension as we open. Maybe gaze up. And come back to nice neutral in your 90-90 bend. One more time. We'll hinge forward a little bit, find a nice stretch. Maybe your hands come down to the floor as we rock side. Rock forward and back in your front head. Find your hamstring stretch to your hip flexor stretch. Find engagement with those inner thighs, holding your thighs nice and parallel, suctioning up and into your pelvis. Maybe your hands come to your hips if you'd like to challenge a bit of your balance. Focus on rolling the shoulders back, keeping your spine really long. We'll take those 90-90 lunges once again, so bend your knees, hands behind your head, take a breath in. Now we twist to your left, rotate and caress the rib cage. Slowly open. Again, exhale, twist. Slowly back forward. Squeeze those inner thighs, engage into your left glute. We have 4 more. Elbows wide. If that's still comfortable, or hands can always come in front of your heart instead. Keep the elbows wide at your sides. They reach in opposite directions. Last 2. And 1. We take the hands down to mount both hands on the inside of your front foot. Widen your left foot, find a lizard lunge. You notice how this side feels in comparison to the other. Oftentimes our hips might have a little bit of imbalance or they're tight. And just breathe some space into this side. Option to interlace your left hand behind your head. Open that elbow up towards the ceiling. Open your chest towards the left thigh. Imagine that right hand is pushing into the mat to lift away from the floor. Both hands back down. Slowly we'll sweep your left leg behind you, find your tabletop. Let's widen our knees to the outer edges of our mat. Tuck all 10 toes under. Send your hips back towards your heels. Then slowly rock forward. Your heels can pull in towards your hips if that's comfortable. Lower your hips down, open your heart forward. Scoop up and in from the lower belly. Allow it to come from the lower abdominals as your toes tuck. We send hips back towards your heels. 2 more times, really slowly rock forward. Shift those shoulders over your wrists. Open your heart forward, shoulders back as hips glow. Draw into the belly, scoop from the lower abdominals. Find a neutral spine. Through center, toes tuck, hips back. Once more, we roll forward. Pull open through your chest. Scoop into the lower belly. Lift up and back. Untuck your toes. Send your hips to your heels. Find a child's pose. Let's thread our right arm underneath our left. Kind of mount that shoulder down into the mat. You can always take a little pillow underneath your head. If you need, if that neck is a little uncomfortable, just to elevate it so it's in line with your spine. Breathing space into your upper back. Relax your shoulders. We'll unwind and switch sides. Left arm threads underneath the right. Melt your chest, your shoulders, your torso. Melt through your hips. Then slowly unwind. Come back into your tabletop. We'll end with a few more rounds of your cow hat. On your inhale, lower the belly, open your heart forward. So scoop and draw into the lower belly, round into your upper back. 2 more. Inhale, open. And we'll slowly make our way back into a seat, just like we began. This time, can we switch which ankle's in front? Often our dominant ankle likes to be in front, so if you take that behind, it might feel a little bit funky because the balance of your hips is different. We want to balance ourselves out as best we can. I thank you all so much for joining me today for some mobility work. We did a lot of chest opening, shoulder mobility, hip mobility, some spinal strengthening and posture work. As always, core work is very important in any sort of movement that you do. You want to maintain a deepening connection to your core, to your breath, so you can find a little bit of that mind-muscle connection. You'll find reward a lot quicker through your movement than otherwise. So I hope you enjoyed today's practice, and I hope to see you at the next